Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Bleav.
For fans wanting more than just the score, Warhawk Report dives deeper into ULM athletics with expert analysis, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and real-time updates. Whether you are a diehard fan or just curious about the Warhawks, we've got you covered. Subscribe today at warhawkreport.com. Smart coverage, real insights, all Warhawks. warhawkreport.com.
Doesn't matter if you were an Indian or if you're a Warhawk.
The ULM mention is the greatest. You'd hope for the best as a ULM fan, but
this is the Bleav in the Warhawks podcast with hosts Dusty Thibodeaux and Chase Regian.
Chase, you always have such great insight.
Tibbs is going to bleep it all.
What are these guys always talking about?
We talk a lot about food on this podcast, and I'm going to continue to do so.
Really, really appreciative of the people and the community and the way that they've backed us up.
Nailed the introduction, by the way. Awesome.
Thanks,
I love
Fish.
it.
Chase, we've talked a lot this year about change happening on the Bayou. I think change is happening in Monroe altogether.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that, prior to the fall scrimmage, I stopped by your favorite Johnny's Pizza House.
Do love Johnny's, yes.
It sucked.
What? I thought you were leading in to talk about good change, about how the city's getting better and we're growing economically.
No, it's more important than that. Johnny's sucked. My experience was terrible. It was not a good pizza. There was not enough nacho cheese sauce to even make it taste good.
No, I don't believe you. Are you gaslighting me or are you being serious?
No, I'm being serious.
Dude, that's so disappointing.
Isn't
Why?
it?
I mean, not that we want to talk about pizza for 30 minutes, but I mean, at this point, I'm offended.
I was shocked, and it it's going to take a little bit for them to earn my trust back.
Man, I hate that for you.
And they're not sponsors.
Yeah, not yet. They're a future sponsor for sure. No free ads, but they're a future sponsor.
Exactly. And that'll win them over whenever they hear that.
Right. That's going to make them want to give us money.
So I know everybody wants to hear about the ins and outs of the scrimmage, the spring game. Here's the deal. There were already some injuries that had happened going into Saturday. They also knew who a lot of these guys were. And so you didn't see the Elijah Fishers a lot on the field. You didn't see Aiden Armenta on the field a lot because you know what you're getting. It's a matter of putting people like Bryson Kimbrough in that backup situation. Mason McHugh. Yeah. What do they look like at that quarterback position? Do they kind of freak out even on an inter-squad scrimmage, or do they kind of step up and make some plays? So, yeah. And sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
And there were even some potential nagging, I don't want to call them injuries, but nagging issues, I guess you could say, that a lot of guys just weren't participating. People like our guy, Nate Sullivan, out.
Really?
Jake Godfrey out.
Whoa, who did they play then? Do we see the running backs? Do we see all 4 or 5 good running backs we supposedly have?
We saw a lot. We saw a lot of Deshaun Ford, and he is a hoss. He has lived up to the hype so far, at least through fall camp and beating on his own teammates. We'll see how that looks whenever we get to St. Francis.
Well, yeah. I mean, whenever we get to Bama, I'm not worried. Maybe I should stop jinxing us with St. Francis thing, but I'm not, Describe real quick, Tibbs. I want to hear about the rest of this, but I got a few questions in between this, okay? So keep your thoughts written down for me. What kind of back is Deshaun Ford?
Bettis, but he'll lower his shoulder and go through you. Whereas, Bettis was a straight up upright runner and just kind of took the shots that way.
Yeah.
Ford's the same style, but he will lower his sholders and put his head through your gut and get that back. Extra yard.
Yeah. That's who he is. Gotcha. Been interested, I didn't really get to see him play at all or know anything about him from high school. Just know that highly touted kid and power back. I mean, that's great. Does it go see a 3-down guy? Did you see him catch a ball at all?
Did not see him even attempt off the top of my head. Not to say he didn't.
Did we see Graves or Herring play quarterback?
We saw Herring take some snaps. We saw Mason McHugh. I don't remember seeing Landon Graves in there, but I tell you, everyone I talked with is big on this kid.
Yeah.
Does that mean that he's going to be number 2 on the depth chart when it comes out? Probably not. Maybe he's an or for the Hunter Herring or. But to say that at the quarterback side, I mean, we know it's Aiden Armenta, right? It's all a matter of who's going to be the backup. We know Hunter Herring's going to get his snaps. Does that make him a backup, or is that just kind of the situational player that he is?
Did you see him bouncing around the field? I mean, I assume they were pretty vanilla with the game plan and whatever they did and just wanted to look at the lines and a bunch of inside zone and stuff like that. But anything, do we see any Hunter specials or anything like that?
Nothing really too special. We saw more vertical passes when Mason McHugh was in and when Bryson Kimbrough were in, which is kind of expected. Let them run the oddball offense, so to say, for ULM, where it's a air raid vertical game, make the defensive backs have to make plays, make the receivers have to go get the ball. That was probably one of the big concerning things. Chase, there were so many drops on both sides, receiver and DB. So many drops.
DB, you can expect that, but man, that's a big critique of mine. This of the offense last year is that you had drops, you had poor receiver play, and now it's frustrating to hear. I mean, it's a scrimmage, tips. How much can we really take from it? Sure, fall scrimmage, everybody's tired and beat the shit anyways, but. God, I hate saying that. I hate hearing that word.
Drop or beat the shit out
of? Drop. I love beat the shit out of. That's a great saying.
Okay. It was very well attended though, Chase. There were probably, if I had to take a wild stab, 2,000-ish there.
Nice.
And I know we're going to get the haters be like, oh, well, we had 12,000 at our spring game. Well, good for you. That doesn't happen on the Bayou. 2,000 is a pretty good turnout for a spring Saturday night, hot as all get out game.
I was about to ask, how hot was it?
Dude, I'm still trying to sip on some Gatorade to get caught up on the hydration. It hurt.
Did they do it in 1v1s? They did 1v2s? How'd they set it up here? Obviously, I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, it was kind of some 1v1, 1v2, 3v2
like situations. They did
some situations. Yeah. You typically you had a kickoff to at least practice running down the field on coverage. Okay. Not that anybody was returning it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Mick Reynolds caught some of the kicks.
Okay,
at least to practice catching the ball out of the air and fair catching, things like that. Things that maybe weren't as exciting as you would want them to be, but it's still things that have to be done, right? You still got to learn how to fair catch the ball, to actually make that motion, kind of learn how many steps you should and shouldn't take before you just kind of put the arms out and give up on the play. Key things that we really just needed to see in that.
Sure. And we really need to tighten up this year. I thought special teams at the beginning of last year was really a plus for us, and that fell off as Mackenzie Ryan had some shanks there mid-season, towards the end of the season. But I truly believe in him. I really think he's good. I think he's solid. I think he's just still figuring out how to play this game. But yeah, you would think, as well of a coach team as I believe that they were last year, I don't think that you're not going to hang your hat on that as an identity last year, but you're not going to also say that they were undisciplined and stuff like that. You really need special teams. If you're going to do well, you got to win. And this feels so boring to say and talk about and so cliche, but you have to win at special teams. And if you're going to win in this league, historically, the Sun Belt has had great special teams. And so very important, Tibbs, I think. I don't think you learn shit in a scrimmage, though, especially if you got Fish not playing, Armint's not playing. We say they're not playing. Did they play a couple snaps and then sit, or did they just not dress?
No, they played a little bit. Then they were just on the sidelines acting as cheerleaders.
Any fights? Any big hits? I
hate
it, man.
And that was one of the things that was maybe good to see. These guys, get it that they got to compete. They go hard. But also I saw a couple times where the receiver went for a jump ball. The DB just kind of wrapped him up and made sure that he hit the ground, but not really a severe hit like you would in a game.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, that doesn't bode well for how hard they're playing and how hard they can hit. But do you really want to break your receiver, even if he is that fifth, sixth guy?
No, absolutely not. I had seen something today that Saban didn't, he didn't tackle all the time and didn't allow a lot of them. I believe that. I think that way of making sure that you are butting heads and run an Oklahoma drill, I think some of that stuff you can do early in camp, but then you just, your body's wear down so fast. You have such a strict schedule, such long days, such demanding physical days. They're still lifting during all of this. A lot of people don't know that. They still go in the weight room and lift 5 days a week, probably more, maybe more than that, maybe 1 or 2 days less, but you're still lifting a bunch. Your body's shot. So I definitely don't, I don't think that. And I don't think if you've been in that world that you think you need to go out and go, especially in a scrimmage, dude. I mean, how crappy would it be if somebody, if you get a linebacker hurt, if you get, one of the good guys back. I do have another question for you about the spring game, and then, or it's not the spring game, but about the fall scrimmage. I've heard a lot of things about our D line, Tibbs. I've heard they're big. I've heard they're good. What was your thoughts on them?
All the above. But much like we were just talking about how you weren't really going out, there wasn't a lot of backfield pressure. And I don't know if they were told, hey, just kind of hold tight, hit the offensive line, but don't really break through. There wasn't a whole lot of secondary pressure into the backfield. And so is that a concern? Probably not, based on knowing how big these guys are. And while I don't want to take anything away from the offensive line, I don't think the offensive line was overachieving and keeping the defense out. I think that it was just a matter of let these guys kind of play and make the plays. Sure. So they looked the part. Did they act the part? No, but there's a huge asterisk next to that of they were probably told not to act the part.
Sure. Which again, I like that Vincent's doing that. That's kind of like that's a growth thing in this sport. Just let's not murder each other during these scrimmages.
Yeah, because God forbid we have to have the Bryson Kimbrough, Deshaun Ford backfield sooner than it needs to come.
18-year-old backfield. How was Bryson Kimbrough? I know we talked a lot about him coming to high school, and people were really big on him. And then he's kind of, I don't want to say he's getting lost in the depth chart here, but really looking at what, 3rd or 4 or 5. I mean, that's a type of redshirt year. How do he look to you?
Like a 18, 19-year-old kid playing D1 quarterback.
A lot harder than people think.
Exactly. Made some great plays, made some not so great plays on the reads. Again, maybe because he knew he was kind of safe, he did stay in the pocket a lot longer than maybe he should have. Maybe that's what he's trying to do, is become more of a pocket passer as opposed to doing quick checks and then tucking and running. But
I like that.
You see a lot of the foundation. I won't say he's the second coming. I won't say that he's god awful. Why did we waste a slot? I think he's an 18, 19-year-old kid, and it's going to take some time for him to develop.
Love that. I love to hear that. I think having that in the pocket's awesome. You never know what that turns into. If he stays, I mean, this world, man, it's tough to even think about people staying a whole year, even if they sit the bench or if they play,
Yeah. And speaking of which, I caught up with your defensive lineman, Cavante Wells.
Yeah.
You want to hear from him?
Let's do it.
Cavante, we're still a couple weeks away from the season, but how great is it that you're out here with your guys still getting better every single day?
It feels great. I love to be out here. We got the energy. We're going to do what we got to do today and handle business and get prepared for next week so we can handle business when we get there.
So you almost weren't here. I mean, the portal is crazy. It gets out there with all the offers.
Sir.
What brought you back to Monroe and to the Bayou?
The love for the city, Coach V, and all my teammates that I had in JUCO and prior to that, and just family and closer to home. I did it just to see what was out there for me, and I came back because it's home, and I love to play here. So I came back to make a stamp and make my name for myself.
Last year was a frustrating 5-7.
Yes, sir.
This year, definitely the sky's the limit there. What are y'all's expectations for this season?
Expectations, bowl game, championship game, that's the same thing from last year. We're going to try to do it again. try to go do what we got to do to handle business.
What have y'all done to kind of change that up and get ready?
We beefed up the front, got more receivers. Me and Billy been working on the off season, getting better every day, and working on our craft, including other teammates. So we're gonna be way better than we were last year. I promise you that.
You get to go head to head with this offense. What are you seeing out of the offense?
Ooh, run the ball. They run the ball. See, we got to stop the run. That we had a problem with last year, they say. So we're going to keep getting better with that every day, stopping the run, and then we're going to go on to the pass and develop the pass, our passing game.
There's a lot of running backs out there. Yeah. Which one do you kind of dread tackling?
My favorite, Bam, because Bam be moving. Bam don't stay still.
Yeah.
So Bam, he more of a sifted back.
Do you get any kind of flashback seeing the 22 on the field again?
22?
Yeah.
Nah, I love 22. He run the ball real hard for a freshman. I love how he run the ball, and I can't wait to see him this season.
I know this season probably comes down to that last game at Louisiana Lafayette.
Facts.
Yeah, I always say the dash in there. But first, we got to take care of St. Francis.
Facts.
How big is that game to open the season?
Every game big for me. Every game big for our team, so we're going to go out there and handle business. Every game like it's our last.
You got your partner there, Billy Pullen there beside you. What's it mean that he came back with you this year?
That's my guy. See, that was the plan all along. So now it's time to make a name for ourselves and stamp it.
Biggest message you have for fans as you get ready for the season opener against St. Francis?
Be ready. See, we coming here to take. We here. We coming to do it.
There it is. Let's win a bowl game. Let's win a championship, Chase.
Let's do it. I'm excited. Would you? I'm sorry to bring this up. I know it's before. I just wish we could go to the Bahamas. Just always wanted to go to the Bahamas Bowl.
Just go to Galveston, get you a cheap cruise. You'll be there in about 10 hours. I especially when we talked to Vincent about the logistics of getting there, it just no. Send me to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah, New Orleans would be cool. Absolutely. But yeah, I love the energy, man. Go to that's the goal. I think obviously as fans we're in the seats where we're like, hey, let's get 6 first and then let's go from there. But definitely excited about this year, and I think I love that the preseason stuff goes off of last year's because nobody knows what we're going to be, and I think we've got a good understanding that's definitely a possibility for this team.
Without a doubt. I think another guy that you want to hear from.
Come on.
The quarterback, Aiden Armenta.
So just what were your thoughts on the scrimmage tonight from a quarterback perspective?
Yeah, it was good. Short night, but it was good to get to see some of those guys make plays later on in the scrimmage and stuff like that. Bryson had a good night, so I think just any of those guys getting opportunities is always a good thing. So it was a good night.
Your second season here, you're kind of in Bryson's shoes last year. What's been the advice you've given him to try to mature?
I think just kind of stay patient. I think, like I said, some of those freshman blues and that kind of thing is going to happen early on, so just kind of stay patient with the process. And that learning curve is going to happen, so the game might feel fast, but over time you're going to adapt. So.
A couple injuries on the wide receiver room. Jake got held out tonight. I think Tyler got held out tonight also. Just from a QB perspective, one, what's it like to get reps with these new guys maybe we haven't heard of or whatever, but then two, what's that like when some of your top guys have gone down going into the season?
Yeah, I think a true measure of a quarterback is just can you elevate the guys around you no matter who's out there. So obviously we've had some injuries and we've had some tough luck, but obviously just making room for the new guys. It's the next man up mentality, so really proud of the way they stepped up tonight and just going to keep doing that throughout the season.
Take a little pressure off of you knowing that you have a stacked running back room and you don't have to necessarily play the perfect game every time.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of competition in that room and there's a lot of talent, so I think that's for sure. And I mean, we have talent all across the board. It's not just in the running back room, so I'm really pleased with everybody on the team and just feel really excited about our depth and our experience.
Obviously last year maybe with it wasn't kind of you doing the gunsling and everything. Obviously it has like 65% running plays, whatnot. With the running back room, what sort of pressure do you put on yourself to when you get your number called to make that big shot downfield to be able to complete it?
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping we don't have to run the ball as much as we did last year. I think we're going to be a lot more multiple, so just looking forward to that, and I think we have the guys to do it this year, so I don't think there's any pressure with that. I mean, we put in the work to this point, so I think it's all just going to come in time.
Going head-to-head with that defense, what are you seeing out of that side of the ball?
Yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of experience. The linebackers are running sideline to sideline. They're going to be a good group this year. D-line is big, a lot bigger than last year, so I think we just have a lot of experience and depth coming back with some good pieces.
What's one thing the coach has been harping on you guys about the most, leading up 12 days away now from game one?
I think just never being set on what we're doing. I think just always kind of staying, making sure that we know what we're doing, and staying with the mission. I think the end goal, it's kind of hard to lose that sometimes through these long days of camp, but just making sure we know what the end goal is and kind of keeping our minds set on that and making it hard every single day.
And tonight with the fans, just what's it like? The importance of meeting them, the support is going to be in the stands every week for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome to see so many fans tonight. I think it's a good sign that times are coming and changing over here, so just really excited about that.
There he is, just as the Coastal Carolina folks always referred to Grayson McCall. They never called him by name. It was just QB1. There was our QB1 there, Chase.
Love that. If he could turn into what Grayson McCall did at Coastal, that'd be awesome. I'm excited for Aiden to see if he obviously knows. He knows, everybody else knows he's got to take that step. And I think they put some, replaced some pieces around him, kept some pieces around him. I'm excited about what he does with the tight end room we have. Interested to see what happens with wide receiver room, but I'm really excited for Aiden this year. I think he really could be a really good college football player.
And even like it was mentioned, he doesn't have to play the perfect game. He's got a stable of running backs that if he's having a bad game, the passing game just isn't there for whatever reason. We don't have just Ahmad Hardy. We've got 5-6 backs that can come in and just kind of take over that offensive game.
Yeah, Tibbs, I keep hearing that, and there's an old saying, Tibbs, and I might have made it up, but there's an old saying, if you have one good running back, you're good at running back. If you have two good running backs, you're not. And I hope that's not true. I really, from what I've seen and heard and per my sources, I've always wanted to say that, we really do have a good stable running backs. But I don't, I'm going to disagree with him to a point that needs to be vice versa this year. He needs to be able to take over a game a little bit more than what he could last year. And I'm not saying I don't believe he was trash last year. I really don't. I know some people have said that. I really don't. I don't think he was trash. I don't think he was always when the pressure was on him, I don't think he was always put in great positions or put himself in great positions. And so, I think another year, I love that he got that experience they did last year, and plain and simple, he just needs to take a step. But I'm excited for him. I think he can. I think he will.
Without a doubt. The last thing that we had was the Fan Fest, people going out getting their autographs. No, I did not get an autograph, Chase.
Oh, come on, man. I wanted an autograph. You know that. I like the posters.
I'll give you mine.
My great friend makes them, and she's a wonderful person. And so I love the posters, Tibbs.
I did get posters. I got posters. I'll hang it up in my office so people can go, who the hell is that?
who is home?
Well, because I live in an Aggie world, and so short of those years where we have games at Texas A&M, no one really knows who ULM is, which I'm okay with.
That's cool. I love being the underdog. Yeah, I live in a TCU world, and they only care about TCU and SMU. So,
Pony Excess.
But tell me about the pony. yeah, and all that's legal now. I bet they hate that. But tell me about the meet and greet. What happened there?
Just probably 200-300 kids and families hanging around, getting autograph posters, getting season tickets. Got to try the new concessions.
Okay, we got new concessions here. Tell me more.
Which I have a food review ready to go.
Okay, you can find that where?
I'm gonna have it up on Warhawk Report. It'll come out later this week.
Okay, I'm excited to read it.
Breaking down the fried ravioli, the boudin balls, and the jambalaya.
Jambalaya is a tough. Hey, you can mess that up easier than I thought.
I did
fried
not have
ravioli and boudin balls.
I did not have the pulled pork slider, so I will go ahead and tip my hand of that. That I did not have it.
Okay.
Everyone else said this isn't bad. It's probably one of the better sliders I've had of it.
I love the boudin. Let's go up from the shitty hot dogs and the stale popcorn. Many things better than that.
Yeah, I had a good interview there with Kevin Sumlin, owner of Corcom.
Kevin Sumlin. What a name! What a name to have around a football stadium.
Yeah,
very cool.
he gave the insights about what they're doing a little bit different this year. So that'll be coming out later on this week as well. And Chase, the best news I heard from him.
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
They are working on the Stadium Cups.
Come on.
We
Well,
may, and I'm putting that in big, bold letters, have it by baseball season.
Come on. Ford's going to love it. Ford's not even going to understand what it is, but he's going to love it, dude.
I'm going to love it.
Heck
and
yeah.
I don't think I'm supposed to drink in the press box anymore.
No, did they ban you from it, or it's just unprofessional?
It's very unprofessional.
Yeah, I get called unprofessional a lot up there, so I'm chilling.
Okay,
you'll be all right. You'll be all right. I don't know if people want to be grouped in with you or I, or if we want to group together.
Who knows? Maybe the articles and the podcast will be even better.
Maybe maybe the post game show will be pretty good.
Oh, yeah. You ever seen the movie Major League where they're just hammered by the second inning?
That'd be us by halftime. Yeah, if the season goes poorly, that would be I'd be on that sideline just wasted. That'd be cool.
I hope it doesn't come to that, because I feel like there's been some seasons where probably by the end of the first quarter, like, it's going to be a rough one.
Remember the Baylor game my freshman year? Here's a good story for you, Tibbs. So don't ask me one for later. We were at Baylor, and I didn't travel, but I was in the stands, and I heard a lot of stories about this. And I grew up a big Baylor fan, fun fact. And all my family lives in Waco. And so we're playing Baylor, and that was when they had the #1 team in the country, and their receivers were Kendall Wright and Bryce Petty at quarterback. And I don't even know if Josh Gordon was there maybe, but they were crazy. Corey Coleman was back there. And it was, what was it, Tibbs? 35 or 42-0 at the quarter.
Easily.
I mean, it was bad. And I'll never forget, I heard Coach Barry walks in at halftime, or no, this was after the quarter. He's walking around, and he goes, "All right, guys, we're not going to win this game, so just please don't get hurt."
The two best lines out of that same game, Chase, that I heard was, it was, I don't know, like 70-0 or 70-7 at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
And the intern for sports information was like packing up his bag frantically, like he had missed, the 5-minute mark to go down to the field and all that. And then he stopped, looked at the scoreboard, then looked at me and goes, "Wait, we got 15 more minutes of this shit."
Yeah.
And then the next one was a good Barryism where, he's giving his post-game speech about how, Art Briles, has a good team and this and
we're
that.
going to learn from this.
Yeah, and all that. And then, typically coaches will kind of wait maybe 30 seconds before they say anything that is kind of off the wall, because they know they're kind of off the record then. He's giving his whole speech thing, and then it's maybe 5 seconds. He's just like, "Well, that was a straight ass whooping."
Dude, we didn't look at film from that game. We had some studs. We had a decent team that year, and we didn't look at film. Baylor came for blood, dude. They were not good. I'll tell you one more, and that is, I was talking with Joseph Treadwell, left tackle, long time for the Warhawks, very, very good football player. Fun fact, very, very successful head coach now. And Joe Tread said that he walks on the field, and Sean Oakman walks on the field too. And Sean Oakman, if you don't remember, about 6'7" with a 6-pack, 8-pack, 10-pack. He was a terrifying human being. And Joe Tread is about 6'6" himself. And Sean looks down the line, he yelled out a call, and Joe said he squealed because it was the scariest voice he had ever heard in his life. Yeah. Let's not relive those days this year, though, Tibbs. Let's go. Let's go and whoop some Bama ass. What do you say?
Sure, why not? But as we get ready to wrap it up, I did tell somebody that I would tell this story about, because the infamous 2019 Florida State game came up with the missed PAT for the loss.
Yeah.
I like to think that it was me, and they knew that I was, a big supporter of ULM. We were in Minute Maid Park at the time, now Dakin Field. It'll forever be Minute Maid Park to me. They put the game on against Florida State on El Grande, the big, 150 square foot big screen in the TV.
Just for you.
And I'm doing some of my pregame stuff on the field, kind of looking up, watching the game a little bit, and somebody's like, who's Florida State playing? I was like, ULM. They're like, they're about to win this game. That's about the time that we scored. And he's like, why are they kicking it? And I was like, I guess they feel like they got the momentum. Then clang, we missed the PAT. He goes, well, that sucks. So I got to see it on probably one of the biggest screens in Texas and have, major league players around me just kind of taunting me that our team clanged a PAT.
Taking the hat off real fast. Taking that ULM hat off real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Hawks, man. Hey, if we want to, we could create a section for talking about losses on this podcast.
Oh, man. But we got some good shows coming up this week. We got even more of their chase. So until next time, we'll do it again then.
Always a pleasure, my friend.